Okay, so let's go through the changes. It's not everything which we're gonna get with Yorn. I already mentioned quite a few stuff regarding Yorn gear in my YouTube video about Yorn gear. And in this one, I'm gonna go through some other changes which we're gonna get with the Yorn patch in 2 days. So first of all, changes to the tier 1 and tier 5 weekly rates. And we have here some new difficulty settings. We have the easy mode, the apprentice mode, the green one, which is you will have 8 revive orbs, so you can die more often, and you can actually do it with 2 players. And of course, because of the reduced difficulty, so that everyone can, don't have to wait for 4 players, you will also get less rewards, which is fine. So it's better than not clearing the raids at all. There are a lot of people struggling to clear raids with pucks, so it's going to help you a lot. And yeah, as mentioned, you want to get less rewards, but the reward pool is the same. You can get everything which you can get from normal raid, but the amount and the chance of getting rare stuff is a little bit reduced. Now, moving on, we have the second weekly rates. And we're going to also get some new items which we can obtain with the stuff which we have. For example, the Kadan seal, which you can obtain by exchanging Guardian raid materials. It looks like a ring. You can exchange it for 725 accessories, but of course you need to be around this item level to get those. So you can't just exchange Seal of Kadan once your content release immediately for those accessories. Next, we will get the weekly raid 2 tickets. I think you can also exchange Kadan seals for those tickets, and the weekly raid 2 tickets can be obtained by clearing tier 6 guardians. So as you know, to get weekly raid 1 tickets for the weekly raids which we can do currently, you need to farm tier 4 raids, and there are some other exchange NPCs similar to this will be the weekly raid 2. Weekly raid 2, for that you need a separate ticket, which is the weekly raid 2 ticket, and to obtain it there are some exchange NPCs, but one of the main ways to get it is to do the tier 6 raids and the tier 6 guardians. Perfect timing for this sub. The next one is the tier 6 raid. We have here the new tier 6 guardian, and the tier 6 guardian will be tricky. So there will be also different difficulty modes, as you can see. The normal one and then the heroic one. The heroic one will only unlock after certain item levels, 725. And the player equipment rating is balanced, which means even if you're overgeared, it's going to be kind of balanced, similar to Arena. And then for those achievement hunters, there will be the epic mode where it will be even more difficult and item level stats will be all equalized, and it's all about your skills. You can get also titles for beating this on epic mode. So 3 difficult modes. And of course, the new weekly rates, the tier 2 weekly rates. There's a main difference between the tier 1 and tier 2 weekly rates, which is tier 1 weekly rates. If you remember, there is a rotation. So every week we have 3 different combination of guardians which we have to beat. On weekly rate 2, it's always the same guys. So once you're on release, you can beat 3 weekly rate 1s and 4 weekly rate 2s. And of course, weekly rate 2 gonna reward you with Yorn upgrade materials. So you should do it. Then we have the tier 3 Hall of Chaos, or the Chaos Dungeons. And they will also be unlocked at certain item levels, starting with 545, that's where you're going to unlock the first tier 3 Chaos Dungeon. And of course, you have the new Event Dungeon. I already explained the importance of Chaos Dungeon, especially because of the tickets. The lab tickets you're gonna get, and with those lab tickets you can get the Antares tickets. Once again, check out my my YouTube guide which I made about Yorn gear and gear progress. There is a list of materials and where to obtain those materials, and for that the Labyrinth and Antares is important. Okay, so the event ticket which you're gonna need to enter this dungeon, the Event Chaos Dungeon tier 3, is the same one as far as I know, like the one which you already have. So you can actually I mean, maybe it's too late, but you can still stack those up in the next few days and try to have some stacked ups for the tier 3 one. And then, of course, here is the same, like the Chaos Dungeon, and we have then the Labyrinth, the new Labyrinth. Once again, also mentioned the Labyrinths, how important they are. And wait a second. This is we are here going through all those Chaos Dungeons. The first one is 545. The second one is 680. The third one is 775. Of course, the higher the difficulty of the Chaos Dungeon, the more mats you will get, and more or higher rarity breakthrough stones you're gonna get. I explained the purpose of the breakthrough stones also in my previous video. So this is you can see here, this is tier 1 breakthrough stone. This is tier 1 and tier 2. And here's tier 3 and tier 4, if I remember correctly. Moving on, we have the Event Chaos Dungeon, which I already talked about. And this is going to also give you the tier 3 maps. And again, tier 3 maps can give you also Yorn materials. This is one of the biggest changes now. So, first of all, the Royal Order or Sylians command. Those are the 10 tickets you get per day. And you can use it to enter Cube, Platinum Field, Tower, and so on. Those gonna get how they work. It's gonna get changed, and how it's gonna work from now on is it will be account bound. So you don't have to do cube on all 6 chars. They will be like all your chars had a separate amount of Sylian commands. From Yorn patch on, it will be shared between all your chars in the same account. So if your blaster has, for example, 6 tickets, all your chars will have 6 tickets. So if you use the tickets on your blaster, it will be also consumed for all the other chars. I guess it's easy to understand this part. Now, the other interesting part is that Tower won't consume any Sylians commands. So you can try it again and again without caring about your Sylian commands usage, which should be fine for a lot of people who are struggling to climb the tower to get the rewards. Next, Platinum Field and the Corridor of Trial, which I will explain soon, gonna consume only 2 orders or 2 commands per run. So not a single command. So if you enter Platinum Field, you're gonna lose 2 tickets. And the Cube, 1 attempt of Cube gonna use 3 tickets. But don't worry, the rewards you're gonna get per cube will be buffed. So it's not like you're gonna get the same amount of reward per cube run, but you're gonna just use the triple amount of ticket. That's not the case. The reward's gonna be buffed too. Boss Rush is a new content. You should try it out. It's actually fun. You're gonna fight 15 waves of bosses, multiple bosses sometimes at the same time. And it's gonna reward you the faster you clear, the less deaths you had, and the clear time and the more depending on the deaths during the runs, you're gonna get tokens. Those tokens here, and you can exchange those tokens for quite a few stuff. And one of the important parts are Yorn materials and engravings. There is an engraving for each of the class. So those are class engravings. And not all the class engravings are really good for certain classes, but there are really good engravings for example, for Blaster, there's an engraving which is kind of mandatory for me, especially for certain content. So I'm gonna go for this one. And yeah, you're gonna get it by exchanging those tokens for it. And of course, we're gonna get the next tier of cube. The Diamond Cube is a tier higher. You will be able to get the Blitz Commander tier 3, and you will also get more gold and shilling per run. But this is a lot more difficult than the Ancient Cube, which we currently have. Especially the bomb stagers, they have a pattern, and it will look like a dance. You have to memorize the pattern to survive it. It's going to be fun. So check it out later. And of course, by raising the item level cap to 1100 after Yorn, you will be able to access higher stages of the Tower of Fate. I think it was Fate or Shadow, the second tower, of course. Currently you're stuck at 35-ish, I think. Now you can move on with higher item level. Here. stage 40 is reachable with 600 item level, and 45 above 650, and 50 above 700 item level. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna upload this later on YouTube. If you have any questions, ask in the comment section below, or now in the stream, in the chat. Let's go. Thank you, guys.